Have you ever felt completely isolated within a massive, cheering crowd? As our global connections grow stronger, the distance to our own souls seems to widen. Today we follow the ancient footprints of the hermit. We do not walk this path to escape reality, but to reclaim a long-forgotten inner kingdom. The clamor of the modern age is a veil, hiding the profound secrets of the self. To hear the truth, we must first learn to love silence. Beneath the surface of our busy lives lies a sacred architecture. It is a geometry of the spirit that only reveals itself in moments of stillness. Imagine a sanctuary untouched by time, where every book holds a whisper of the ancestors. Here, the lonely light of a candle becomes a beacon. In this space, the noise of the city dies away, replaced by the rhythmic breath of history. We are entering the domain of the silent seeker. The path of the solitary one is not for the faint of heart. It requires the courage to face the void and find light within it. Let us descend into the depths of the mind, where the secrets of the hermit await those brave enough to listen to the echoes of eternity. The hermit stands alone at the edge of the world. In his hand, he carries a lantern, not to light the way for others, but himself. This light is the star of Hermes, a symbol of divine intelligence. It represents the wisdom gathered through experience and the heat of the internal fire. The lantern does not illuminate the entire horizon. It only shows the next step, teaching us to trust the journey and the power of patience. In the labs of the soul, the alchemists sought to refine the spirit. They knew that true gold is not found in earth, but in consciousness. The struggle between sulfur and mercury mirrors our own battle between the volatile ego and the fluid, deeper self that seeks a higher state. To be alone is to engage in a sacred ritual of purification. It is the process of filtering out the noise to find the essence. The staff he carries is the pillar of his own conviction. It is the support he has grown for himself through years of silent contemplation. This is the staff of awareness. It allows the seeker to remain upright even when the fierce storms of public opinion try to blow him away. From this height, the petty grievances of the world fade into insignificance. The seeker realizes that he is a universe within a universe, vast and deep. Solitude is the crucible of the soul. In the cold and the quiet, the impurities of the ego are frozen out, leaving only the truth. He does not seek the approval of the masses. He seeks the recognition of the divine light that burns eternally at the core of his being. Time works differently in the realm of the hermit. Seconds stretch into eons, and a single moment of insight can outweigh a lifetime of chatter. Every step taken in silence is a victory over the distractions of the world. It is the steady march toward the summit of self-realization. Though he walks alone, he is never lonely. He is accompanied by the thoughts of the ages and the vibrant presence of his own spirit. The hermit reminds us that the answers we seek are not found in the lights of the city, but in the darkness of the high places. Carl Jung, the pioneer of the deep mind, taught us that the greatest journey is inward. He called this arduous process the path of individuation. To become whole, we must confront our shadow. These are the parts of ourselves we have rejected, hidden, or forgotten in the dark of night. In the silence, the ego loses its grip on reality. The linear time we rely on begins to dissolve, revealing the eternal landscape of the subconscious. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. This is the fundamental law of the soul that every true seeker must eventually come to understand. The internal search is like rewinding the mechanisms of our life. We go back through the layers of conditioning to find the original spark. This is the cycle of self-reflection. By feeding on our own experiences and mistakes, we undergo a continuous process of death and rebirth within. What we see in the darkness says more about us than the darkness itself. The void is a canvas for our deepest, hidden self. The hermit enters the darkness not because they love the gloom, but because it is the only place where the ego cannot manipulate the truth. Our fears and desires take shape in the silence. By observing them without judgment, we strip them of their power to control our destiny. We are not one, but many. The hermit's task is to integrate these fragments, to bring the light of awareness to the darkest corners. The mind is a labyrinth, and the center is where the true self resides. Every turn toward silence brings us closer to that sacred core. This sphere is the seed of the self. In the quiet, we nurture it until it grows into a sun that illuminates our entire being. We carry all our ages within us. Silence allows these voices to speak, teaching us the lessons we were too busy to learn before. The chatter of the mind is a storm. The hermit is the eye of that storm, the point of absolute peace amidst the swirling winds. Scientific studies show that silence actually regenerates brain cells. It is as if the soul knows how to repair the body when given peace. In the solitude of the night, we connect to the cosmic pulse. We realize that our personal silence is just a part of the universe. There is a profound freedom in being nobody. When we stop trying to be someone for others, we finally discover who we truly are. Solitude is the key to the inner temple. It unlocks the doors of perception that have been rusted shut by the noise of modern society. Listen to the rhythm of your own heart. It is the first sound you ever heard, and it is the guide to your deepest essence. The art of silence is the art of transformation. It is the memento mori, reminding us that life is fleeting and every moment is precious. This contrast between light and dark is where growth happens. We need the shadows to see the brilliance of the light that we carry. Every ending is a beginning. In the silence, we learn to let go of what no longer serves us, making room for new life. This is the alchemical stage of rubedo, the reddening. It is the moment when the soul is reborn, purified by the fire of introspection. We are the artists of our own internal world. Silence is the canvas, and our thoughts are the colors with which we paint our reality. A mind in silence is like this lake. When the ripples of emotion settle, the entire universe can be seen reflected in its clear depths. A single thought in silence has more power than 1,000 words in chaos. It creates a resonance that vibrates through all of existence. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of harmony. It is the language that the universe speaks when we finally stop. When we stop our internal dialogue, we begin to hear the music of the spheres. It is a melody of profound peace and understanding. The wisdom of the ages is captured in this stillness. It is a state of being where words are no longer necessary to convey truth. The seeker is like the lotus. Though rooted in the mud of the world, they rise above it to bloom in the pure air of spirit. There is a dignity in the quiet of nature. It does not explain itself, yet it is full of meaning and purpose for those who see. Silence must be practiced like a craft. It is the slow carving of our character until only the essential and the beautiful remains within us. In the open field of the mind, every thought is a blade of grass. Let the wind of awareness blow through them without catching anything. Silence is the bridge between the human and the divine. It is the path we walk to return to our source and our original nature. The hermit sees in the dark. While the rest of the world sleeps or is distracted, the seeker watches the hidden movements of the soul. Your inner light is a fragile flame in a windy world. Protect it with your silence. and it will eventually grow into an inextinguishable sun. The reward of the solitary journey is the dawn of a new consciousness. It is a morning that never ends, a light that never fades. This is the secret code of the hermit: to transform the coldness of loneliness into the radiant warmth of self-sufficient and eternal peace. You do not need to live in a cave to be a hermit. You can find your cave in the middle of a crowded city street. By carrying the silence within you, the world's chaos becomes a distant background noise. You become the master of your own internal environment and peace. True power is the ability to remain unmoved. When you no longer react to every stimulus, you gain the freedom to choose your own path. To walk alone is to grow. Like a bird leaving the nest, the soul must learn to fly in the vast, empty space of its own freedom. We are all travelers on this journey back to the light. The hermit is simply the one who decided to stop waiting and start walking. Build an oasis in your heart. Let it be a place where the water is always pure and the shade is always cool and welcoming. When you master the silence, you possess a power that no worldly force can take from you. It is your shield and your greatest source of strength. Solitude is not a prison. It is a palace. It is where you meet the most important person in your life, your true, unfiltered self. Return to the world, but do not become of it. Carry the mountain in your mind and the forest in your heart wherever you go today. Life persists in the quietest ways. Even in the harshest conditions, the soul that knows itself can find a way to flourish and reach high. The code is simple. Look within, find the light, and never let it go. You are the architect of your own peace and your own truth. Keep your own lamp burning bright, even when the world is enveloped in shadow. Thank you for joining us on this profound journey into silence. The journey of 1,000 miles begins and ends in the same place, the center of your soul. Be still and know that you are home. May the silence guide you, and may your inner light always show the way through the dark. Farewell, seeker, until our paths cross again.